Hey guys, Nick Randoms88 back with more Katawa Shoujo. We do not have my music playing this time because it's too late. It's 3 a.m. Don't want to be up at 3 a.m. waking people up with my loud ass music. So, let's continue. Um, Not sure when all this is going to be uploaded. I'll start uploading it fairly soon. Bells ring for the beginning of the afternoon classes. Rin stands up to make her way downstairs. Don't hurry after her, deciding to stay up here for just a little while longer. Thanks for the hug. Thanks for not kicking me. After Rin leaves, I finally let tears roll down my cheeks and cry for my condition for the first time and only time in my life. Then I cast away that hollow person lying on the hospital bed forever. See, I did it again. Just a little bit before a fucking chapter change. Did it again. Had to stop just a little bit before a chapter change. 2 days later, I'm feeling less miserable. I even go for a long, brisk, healthy walk like the nurse recommended. Something which I had avoided and dodged with all sorts of excuses earlier. Feel more active in class as well, delighting our science/homeroom teacher, Mr. Matao, with the correct and promptly delivered answers. The break right now between the two morning classes is too short for any sort of meaningful activity, but too long to just spend it sitting in the classroom and doing nothing. Going out into the hallway isn't much better, but flexing my stiffened muscles is a better use of time than letting them get even stiffer by staying seated. The door of the neighboring classroom door opens, and the students of 3-4 emerge to further fill up the already semi-crowded hallway. Seems that their teacher kept them in for a few extra minutes. Emmy is among them. She notices me noticing her, which almost makes me look away on reflex. I don't, however, and Emmy smiles at me as she happily skips towards me past the other students. Emmy looks pretty energetic, showing no sign of illness whatsoever. Seems she recovered from the cold. Hey, good morning. Nice to see you back on your feet. Feeling better now? She looks fine to me, but I still feel compelled to ask. Thanks, and yeah, I do. It was just a cold, nothing serious. Emmy laughs confidently, as if to emphasize her condition. Wonder for a moment what would count as serious in Emmy's book. She seems to be eager to put the topic aside, though. Where are you going? To your mama's house. Gonna pay her a visit. Off to Rin's room to see if she's awake yet. Oh, she skipped the morning class? A sheepish smile emerges on Emmy's face and she gets slightly flustered. Not exactly. It seems that she caught the cold that I had. Sorry to hear that. Well, she was out in the rain on Sunday with us, after all. Saw her on Monday. She was feeling a bit under the weather back then, too. Yeah, anyway, I'll ask the nurse for some cold medication to give her if she doesn't get better soon. She leaves for the girls' dorm. I want to go with her to wish Rin well. I want to tell her that I'm better now, too, but it doesn't feel appropriate. An unspecified feeling diverts my thoughts away. Somehow, I just can't summon the resolve to go in there. Is this what Iwanako went through when she tried to tell me what she felt? No. Bet you she's already fucking another dude, man. Just forget about her. Get just fucking gangbanged. Enough, though. I'm feeling more energetic. Still hesitant about going over there to talk to Rin. Not until 2 days later, on Friday, that I finally gather enough courage to enter the girls' dorm. Once I ask the first person I meet inside for directions to Rin's room. Knock on Rin's unmarked door and wait. After a few seconds of silence, I hear something rustling inside the room. Start wondering if maybe I should have brought something for her, like a can of warm coffee or some oranges. Could have peeled them for her. Well, too late now. Door opens soundlessly. It was already unlocked, and I find myself staring at Rin, who stares back at me. She looks like she just got out of bed with her hair all messed up. And no clothes on. Oh, I better not get fucking flagged for this, because this is not nudity, okay? You want nudity? Go on fucking Rule 34. That's what my friends told me. Just go on Rule 34 if you want to see fucking real nudity, YouTube. I gotta remember that guy's YouTube name so I can go watch more of his stuff later, because that dude was funny. It's just like, hello. There's a strange, stupid-looking smile on Rin's face. I'm not exactly sure why, because she's high. Like, no shit, she is. Rin smiles so rarely that it seems to be out of place every time, especially so now, given her partially undressed state. Said state makes me feel extremely conflicted about whether or not this was a good idea. Her cheeks are her flushed rose red, contrasting with the milky pale complexion of a person who doesn't get enough sunlight. Forehead looks sweaty, as though she might have a fever. Hi. Now what? I didn't plan to any further than this. And Rin is staring at me with those expectant eyes of hers again. Just walking out into the hall in fucking underwear, no bra, and shirt open. This dude right here, he is lucky. Everything just happens the way it should in his mind. Even though he fucking dejects against it, I bet you that he fucking thinking like, oh my god, glorious. Something about the situation gives me very strange vibes. Her eyes are even more vacant than usual, and she seems to have a hard time focusing them on anything. Lack of clothing is disturbing, but since she herself doesn't seem to be bothered, why should I be? Keep telling myself that. I thought I'd pay you a visit since you haven't been at the art club. I wanted to talk to you and wish you well. Rin doesn't show any sign of recognizing what I just said, making me wonder if she actually understood my words, or if she even heard them. Maybe it's a fever making her groggy. She might have actually been asleep before I came over. Okay. She's just like, your point? Now get in here. She turns on her heel and withdraws from the door, walking back inside the small room. With the doorway, I can see her walk to her bed and halfway fall down, half sit down on the messy pile of bed sheets. The open doorway seems to be more of an obstacle in my mind than a closed door was, but since Rin doesn't say anything else, I step through it and into her room. Badass painting. Rin is on her bed, leaning against the wall, leaving the only chair in the room for me. I just noticed she has a fucking laptop right there. How does she use a laptop? And one of those... Oh, I used to have one of those, dude, when I was, like, little. There was one around the house, and I always used to carry it. It's a fucking mobile TV that you just fucking wind up like one of those fucking flashlights. It's fucking badass, dude. I want to get one of those again. They're good for fucking just going out. She keeps quiet even after I sit down, so maybe she meant to invite me in, but just forgot to say so aloud. An implied invitation, as it were. Very exciting. Nobody has ever visited me before. Hold up, there's something on my fucking screen. Better. Breaking of the silence draws my attention from the room to its inhabitant, who currently seems to be in the middle of a very profound thought process. Actually, that was not true about visiting, but Emmy doesn't count even if she visits. She always pampers me too much. Think she's having too much fun. Think I forgot how to put a bra on by myself. She looks groggily down at her chest, which is probably why I don't have one on, now that I think about it. I I haven't failed to notice that Rin doesn't have her shirt buttoned up either, but I try to keep my eyes strictly locked on hers. Good plan, buddy. It's rather evident that she's not a very body-conscious person. My own body, however, is quite conscious of hers right now. She came to wake me up 7:30 today. Can you imagine that? She pauses for a while and glances up at my dumbfounded face. On second thought, you probably can. It's not like that reverse rainbow fish I tried to imagine earlier. That was hard. Reverse rainbow? What would that even be? Vib? No, it'd be... Yeah, it'd be Vib... Be... Something. I can't do it. I can't think clearly to try and pronounce fucking Roy G. Biv backwards. Well, yes, that seems like a pretty normal time to wake up if you want to go to class in the morning. Trying to sound as reasonable as possible to counteract Rin's unreasonable annoyance. Told her to sod off. She gave me these meds and told me to take them. I follow her eyes to the night table and then to the pill bottle sitting on top of it. Pick up the bottle and turn it around to look at the label so I can see what kind of medication Amy brought. Active ingredient? Codeine? She's high. You took all of these? No. Yes. I've been eating some since there's so many of them. Seem to make this thing not so bad. You're so high. Actually, I think I'm feeling just fine. Her head rolls round and round, making it look like she's either trying to stretch her neck muscles or possibly passing out. She took several of these pills? Can that be safe? At least it's bound to have some side effects, which I'm afraid I'm witnessing right now. Feeling just fine. I am fine. Just someone take this buzzing away from my head. Can't think straight. The only expression returns to Rin's face. It's like many of those insect things, or one really big insect thing, with lots of wings, very much color and everything. What's the word for those? Oh, never mind. I remembered. It's butterflies. She smiles slightly at her last observation. The small pause in her monologue is not long enough for me to dare say anything that could potentially, but not likely, salvage this discussion. I love butterflies. They're the best animal. Do you see any on your way here? Sal. She utters my name as an afterthought, possibly to make clear that she is now addressing me instead of speaking her mind to whoever might be listening. This odd situation has left me speechless more or less since the moment Rin first opened her mouth. Not that she herself doesn't seem to have anything else to add. Silence fills the small room. It makes me glance around again in an attempt to find something to talk about. Rin's room is about as small as mine. The big window, which takes up most of the wall furthest from the door, opens to the east just like mine. Looks very normal, which strikes me as strange. Expected something more different. About a dozen paintings, most of them in Rin's signature abstract style, and a few art posters are taking up all of the available wall space. But that's about the only real difference between her room and mine. The room is not exactly aesthetic, but it doesn't look like what I'd expected from a girl's room either. Faint smell of art, paint and paper is floating in the air, the same smell the art room has. Rin isn't too concerned about being tidy, it seems. Everything she owns seems to be arranged in various piles around her room. The room looks nice. It's an empty sentence one uses to fill empty spaces in conversations, but my wits are failing me pretty hard right now. Yeah, would you like me to show you the places? She looks down at her half-open shirt quizzically, making me inadvertently follow her gaze to her chest. Oh, I guess I already did. It's funny, dude. Can't deny that, no matter how hard I tried to act properly. First, it's very nice that you came to see me. Makes me feel very... What's that word? You know, the one about things and stuff. Anyway, you came. Rin's rambling makes me remember that I actually came here for a reason. Hey, about what we talked about on Monday, on the rooftop, remember? Rin doesn't seem to be exactly attentive right now, but not that she ever is. Plow ahead and get it off my chest anyway. Just wanted to tell you that I'm going to be better from now on, I guess. I hate being pathetic, so I decided that I'm not going to be anymore. Guess that's all. Okay, isn't that good? The blurry words flow out of her lips slowly and uncontrollably. I'm happy for you, I think. That's what I think. Shouldn't look so sad all the time. I mean, looking sad is fine if you are not sad, but you look sad like you actually sad. That's no good, man. Are you going on some training camp where they make men out of the boys, out of boys, or mountaintop meditation? No, I don't think so. Too expensive, Rin. Oh, I guess that's fine too. The sentences come out of her mouth and probably her brain, one at a time with a small pause between each, making her gibberish hard to understand. Just think it seemed like a good idea. Maybe it's not. Rin finishes with one more line, getting to say the last word over herself. An impressive display of what I can only describe as mental shadow boxing. While I'm embarrassing myself, might as well tell you that I'm sorry that I said some stupid things to you last week. It's your own business to decide what you're going to do. She seems to not register my words first, but then understanding lights in her eyes, and she waves her head around in a way that could be interpreted as anything. It's okay. I probably said stupid things too. Just sometimes it's just sometimes a bit hard to keep my thoughts the way I like them. Right now, I bet your fucking thoughts are all over the place. Fucking codeine, man. The high off those is not intended for you. Especially with your fucking... the way you think. They're not very straight. At least most of the time. Not that I want to have them straight. I just wish they were at least in some shape. Round is fine too. But I need more definition. My thoughts are very messy. Messy. She just fucking passed out. She repeats the word melancholically, then flops lying down on her bed and nuzzles her head against her pillow, shutting her eyes. Enough. Tired. You should go. I'm going to sleep again. She opens one of her eyes to look at me. Was it you who likes to look at sleeping girls? Or someone else? Maybe there were many of those. Can't remember. You can stay if you want. No, I'll leave. I have to do homework anyway. Stand up from the chair and take a step towards the door. Wait. Her request stops me on my tracks, not that I intended to scoot off right away. The fucking high-ass smile on her face. She's like, ah! She's so fucking messed up off them fucking cold medication pills, dude. Look at her. She's like, ah! Look over my shoulder, a girl lying on her bed, again with the strangest kind of smile on her features. She should smile more often. I can walk you to the door. It's the least a gentleman can do. Rin giggles like a little kid, making me beyond absolutely certain that she took far too much of her cold medication today. I have always wanted to say that. Slowly and with difficulty, Rin first rises to the sitting position again, then stands up with an even more difficulty, and then more slowly still. As if guided by some masculine automation, my eyes instantly lowered to the curve of her thighs and the striped panties, at which point my manners forced me to lift my gaze back to Rin's eye level. Oh, you sneaky bastard, sneaking a peek and shit. It's getting almost too hard to do that. Rin is standing, although barely. Looks like she has trouble keeping her usually decent balance. Again, probably a side effect of the medicine. Ah! It's really, really close, Rin. How many frames did you just drop me by? None, actually. Okay, I'm fine with this. She takes an unsteady step towards me, then another smaller one as she notices that it's not a good idea to try to take big steps. I feel my muscles tense as I prepare to catch her in if she falls down. She just planted one on him. She said, nah, man. I ain't falling over. I'm falling into you, motherfucker. This happy music, dude. It's good right now. Happy music. Just let this moment marinate for a minute. Let me listen to this music. Alright, we're good. She manages to take 2 more steps before she falls against me. To my surprise, neither her downwards momentum nor our slight height difference are able to stop Rin from pressing her heart-shaped lips squarely against mine. As our lips part, after a confusing moment of nothing but the taste of Rin, I look down at her, trying to find some explanation for this bewildering event. The euphoric smile of a madman broadens on Rin's lips again, and I wonder if I will remember this tomorrow. I am absolutely stumped on how to respond. Rin takes a step backwards, separating her body from mine, and making me only now realize that they were even connected in the first place. The second step is actually a fall backwards, luckily straight onto her bed. Soft thud Rin's thin body makes against the mattress breaks the silence. Move quickly over to her to see if she hurt herself, only to be met with the peaceful face of dreaming. Rin sleeps. She's lying diagonally across the bed, somehow managing to have simultaneously fallen asleep while standing up, and fallen down in a way that she didn't injure herself. Fool's luck. I tuck Rin in, covering her with the sheets as well as I can. 1 second, checking the time. We're good. She feels very light, even though I am not that strong. Stand up to look at her. The oval-shaped face, the dark eyelashes shut against the feverish cheeks, the slender body covered with the pale sheets. Rin sleeps. Nice rhyme, bro. Conflicts, plural, churn inside me. Think about calling a nurse to keep an eye on her, but decide against it. After taking one more glance at her peaceful face, I decide that she'll be fine. I do pocket the remaining pills, though. He about to go get high himself. Dude. Well, dudettes, whoever may be watching. That scene right there. That one, like, caught me by surprise, man. I thought she was literally gonna fall, but nah, it was just like, boom. I was like, wait, what? What'd I miss? Like, literally, I was, like, staring at the screen, half asleep, just what I miss. What's going on? Why is she half naked and kissing this dude? What's about to happen? Well, she was half naked. Just, nothing showing, thankfully. Otherwise, I would have had to skip that wonderful little moment. I like romance novels, dude. I may be fucking crazy and fucked up in the head, but I like my romance novels. Not the generic kind, though. They actually have to have something about them that makes them unique. And that's why I like these stories, because they're unique in their own way. I exit the room, close the door soundlessly behind me. I exhale deeply, only now realizing that I had held my breath for the better part of a minute. Taking a moment to relax, I try to calm down my heart, racing like a jackrabbit. Well, yeah, you had fucking titties pressed up against your chest, along with a chick fucking kissing you, half fucking naked, in her room. I had trouble getting to sleep that night, so the next morning finds me exceptionally groggy. Briefly consider skipping class, but remind myself that I was supposed to be a stronger person now. Get up like a good boy and put on my uniform, then make my way to the main school building without eating breakfast. Sit in my seat in classroom 3-3, waving a greeting to Misha and Shizune like I do every morning, and let the day wash over me. Fucking allergies. The afternoon classes are always longer than those in the morning. This is true regardless of whether I count it by the minute or by the number of doodles drawn in my notebooks. Today I'm especially distracted as I keep thinking about Rin. Did I manage to properly tell her that I want to get better? Did she understand a word of what I was saying? Probably not, dude. She was so messed up. Think about the kiss we shared and what it means. She was so out of her mind. Maybe it means nothing. We've been getting closer lately. What does that mean? Think about Rin more and more nowadays. Wonder if she thinks about me. You're probably one of her 4 thoughts. The ringing of bells makes me flinch, and then realize that I haven't been paying attention during the latter half of class at all. Look at the assortment of sketches traveling up and down margins of my notebook, and the only thing I got done in the last hour. Feeling vaguely disappointed in myself, I pack up and get to the hallway. Rin is standing right outside the door, her presence stopping me in my tracks as soon as I spot her. Her posture is relaxed as always, but I suddenly feel like I just ate a crowbar. I'm having a hard time meeting her gaze. She doesn't seem to have any trouble looking at me, but those dark eyes are making me feel flustered for no reason. It's hard to look straight at her, so I turn my face away a little. Don't know what one should say in this kind of situation. Then again, I rarely know what to say to Rin in any given situation. Hi. Hello. Try to get rid of the awkwardness in my voice and invoke a more natural way of speaking. I suddenly worry about where I should put my hands. Feels like they're in the way somehow. How are you feeling? You were pretty out of it yesterday. I'm okay. What do you mean yesterday? You don't remember? She's just like, what the fuck you talking about, man? She tilts her head to the side like a bird, looking somewhat confused. Remember what? I have a pretty bad memory in case you didn't fucking remember about yesterday. What about yesterday? I came to see you and I don't remember that kind of thing happening. She really doesn't remember. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel disheartened all the same. I remember that I promised to show you one place, though. Did that happen for real? Maybe I just think that I remember that I really don't. No, that was real too. Okay, do you want to go? Now? Yeah. Well, sure, why not? Is it far? It's not. We're just going, man. Together we walked downstairs and then outside. And then Nick Randoms had to check his fucking timer. We're doing good. The usual summer day, whirring cicadas and all, greets us. It's immensely hot, and without the air conditioning the classrooms offer, I start sweating immediately. I hate days like that. Can't wait for summer, though. Summer's gonna be nice. Can't wait for spring to fucking stop. We start along the tree-lined pathway that leads towards the dorms. The cherry trees offer shade with the sunlight blinking through the holes in the canopy. The light creates a chaotic pattern of shadows dappled with bright places where the beams hit the pavement. Rin's eyes are wandering in every direction but mine. Get the feeling that it's intentional. Stretch. She leads me to the back gate once again, taking us through it and into the forest beyond. As before, the dropping temperature and the drastically reduced levels of light make it feel like the forest is swallowing us into its cavernous, I almost said carnivorous, but it's cavernous belly. We head uphill along the same path as last time, snaking around trees and boulders, over roots and rocks, past wild undergrowth, birds sing somewhere in the woods, soloists for the humming background music of the treetops. We go past the small clearing with the big maple that is now called the worry tree. The fucking worry tree, dude. The climb steepens and then becomes easier again. I have to stop a few times to catch my breath, then hurry after Rin, who doesn't stop to wait for me. Soon I'm out of breath again. Suddenly the trees end, and we emerge from the forest. The boundary of the woods is sharp and abrupt, as though a line had been drawn to mark it. The hill continues to climb up a little further ahead, but from here to the top, it's a rocky meadow, patches of grass, and small bushes that look like they are growing straight from the rock. We soon reach the highest point with the forest behind us and the view to every direction opening in front of our eyes. The city lies far below and away, lazily reveling in the quiet afternoon mood. You can see pretty far from here, and the vista is beautiful. Wonder how high up we are. I breathe the fresh air and feel my heart rate slowly going back down. I think I might have overdone it a bit. A higher pulse is dangerous for me. I'm feeling fine right now, though. The wind picks up, ruffling my hair and causing the trees below us to sway. Makes the grass undulate? Undulate? I don't fucking know. In waves as the breeze sweeps across the hilltop. Sun shines from the open skies upon us, a few clouds passing by to shadow it. What was painful heat before is now gentle warmth. Take a good look around. The hilltop is pretty in the way nature often is. Unplanned harmony found in the natural arrangement of things. The most striking feature is the abundance of small yellow flowers. They're literally everywhere in this small meadow. Can't help commenting on it. Wow, a lot of flowers. Yeah, do you know this kind? They will fly away. Yeah, dandelions. There are not many of them at the school because they cut the grass so often. Nobody cuts grass up here. The fragile looking flowers will soon turn white and fluffy like cotton, and the wind will carry their seeds away. Crouch down to look at one tiny yellow flower, slightly basking in the sunlight. It's not a hint of white yet, so it's still waiting for its time to be fulfilled. When I was little, I never knew that though. I thought they were two entirely different things. These and the actual like white ones. I thought they were two entirely different things until I turned like fucking. It was so long, dude. Until I turned like fucking 8 years old, and then I was just like, oh okay. Because I watched one in particular on the side of my house, and like one day it just. I fucking woke up and went outside, and boom, it was a big fucking puffball. I was just like, oh, so there's the same thing, okay. Brush my fingers against the delicate yellow petals. Feel the soft texture in my fingertips. Feels nostalgic somehow. I hear Rin approaching from behind and stand back up to face her. She has a weird look on her face. Something on your mind? I don't know. Just... Holy fuck. Okay, since I know that in reality she's probably saying this really, really fast, I'm going to try to say it as fast as I can. Probably not going to turn out the best, but hopefully I can do it. Because I'm good at reading fast. And you guys are probably going to have to fucking rewind this shit if I actually do read as fast as I can. So hold up. Need a drink real quick. Okay. Alright. Here we go. You just look so sad all the time and become upset so easily, and it makes me confused, and I really don't remember much about yesterday except that you came to my room, and that's why it might be because of me. So if it's because of me, I think that I know why. It's because people don't really like talking to me, and you might be the same, and that would be sad. I know that people, and I'm talking about others than Emmy too, always said I'm strange and that I talk strange things, so I thought I'd try not to say strange things, but that just makes me think more and new and strange and colorful, and that was not a good word for, but maybe you understand anyway, and odd things. So if I want to say something, I don't really know how, and then the words are not the same as the thoughts because something goes wrong on the way out, but it's not like the thoughts are really the thing I should be saying. It's more like the idea of the thought or the feeling of the idea or the idea of the feeling, but it's not really any of those either because there's no word for it unless I invent a new one, which is not really useful. So I've been thinking of doing things... if doing things is better than saying so maybe because yesterday I took those pills and I was feeling a little strange. I might have done something that I shouldn't. Besides, I don't even know if it would be any better if I just could say the thought. There is no telepathy. That's real telepathy isn't there. I think it'd be terrible and useful at the same time. But right now, I wouldn't mind because misunderstanding is so easy, but understanding is not. And I thought. I grasp her shoulder and squeeze hard to make her stop. I don't have the capacity to take all that in at once. Rin shuts up instantly. Take a breath. I'm not upset. Why would I be? I'm just a little confused, but it's alright. I wonder if I was making a face she doesn't like again. I guess I've been thinking about yesterday all the time. Maybe I looked weird. Wish I had a mirror with me at all times. No need to get it all said at once. I'll listen, even if you talk slower. It just came out. Sorry. I'm okay now. Just wanted to say something. Didn't mean that much. It's weird, isn't it? She looks at me with a surprisingly timid expression, one that I haven't seen before. Can't help but laugh a little. Yeah, it's weird. You're a pretty weird person, but there's nothing wrong with that. Thanks for being worried about me, but I'm going to get better. Told you that yesterday, but I guess you don't remember that either. I don't. Wonder what else I forgot. Hopefully nothing important like my own name. That'd be terrible. Well, you kissed me. I did? Yeah, you did. On the lips. I try to sound as matter of fact as I can, but I worry that I might be blushing again. Did you kick me? No. Why would I do that? Then it's all good, right? It's okay, right? You didn't forget my name. Yeah, it's okay. Wish I was more suave so that I could come up with a better follow-up to that, but nothing comes to mind. It's a good thing that Rin has more to say. It makes me feel relieved somehow. I think I should say sorry. I'm really bad with people. Some things are hard to understand, like jellyfish. Do you understand jellyfish? I guess not. Nobody does. People are like jellyfish to me. I don't understand. Now it's her turn to make a face I don't really like seeing. I've never really had friends. What about me? Nah, I'm your friend for one. He sounded like me right there, just nah. I mean, think about it. We already talk a lot to each other, and we've even gotten upset at each other and then forgiven the other for it. It's what they call friendship. It's really nice of you to say that. I've always been able to tell everything to pencils and paints and paper. They are my best friends. It is harder with people. I have to use words. That is hard for me. Yeah, I know. You told me about how you forget. Rin nods at me wordlessly, and I dare to attempt showing her a little encouraging smile. I hope I do it properly. She doesn't reply in any way. I feel really glad. The distance Rin puts between herself and everything else has made me feel really uneasy ever since I met her. If we became real friends, I'm sure I could understand her more. I'm sure that this way we can close the gap of understanding between us. My thoughts don't transmit to Rin. She seems lost deep in thought, wandering amidst the sea of yellow flowers covering the grassy hilltop, just as well. Time passes, the breeze making the taller grass sway gently in time with the wind. Rin hums a little song to herself so quietly that I can't tell what it is, if it's even anything at all. A stronger gust sweeps over the hilltop, and the sound of the trees in the wind buries the song away. Check my watch, more out of habit more than anything else. It's 4:30 right now, on this Saturday afternoon. Rin looks into the distant horizon with that odd, blank stare of hers, as if she were looking at nothing at all. Her pupils are dark and quiet like a pair of deep, still ponds. Hold up. I'm gonna stop it soon. I know I'm killing the moment. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to quit the art club. I realized when we had that argument last week. It was a good thing I tried it, but it's just not my thing, you know? I had more fun getting to know you than actually doing the art stuff in there. Want to stay as your friend. Would that be alright? Sure, it was getting pretty creepy anyway with you staring at me all the time. Kind of makes me fluster immediately, but I managed to reply. The reason he fucking flusters immediately is because he did not know that she actually noticed him staring the whole time. Sorry about that. It's okay. I'm used to it. Not the first person who likes to see me paint. Are you going to do some other thing? I don't know. Probably not. Are you going to become better? You are going to become better, right? Sure. Me too, you know. I'm going to talk to that friend of the teacher and ask her to put my stuff in her place and work hard to get it all that done. I decided that just now, you know, but I think I knew it all along. I've had this feeling for a long time now that I'm going to change. Even if I hate it and don't want it, even if I wanted to, I would change. Like, I am not enough the way I am. I think this could be a good way to do it because it's like a straight line. Like, I've learned all the things in my life so far just for this. It's just art, and it's the only thing I really know. I know what I'm going to do, so it's good. I'm not afraid at all. Feel like I always do. Is that weird? Not at all. I close my eyes and give in to the irresistible sensation that has been growing inside me all week long. I float up towards the surface of my own life. Pressure of being underwater slowly diminishes. The weightless sensation becomes stronger. I break the surface of the water, lifting my head into the sunlight and inhale deeply, breathing in fresh air as if for the first time in a long, long while. Ah! Ah. My lungs fill with oxygen and I open my eyes to see Rin's peaceful, determined face. Oh, really? Nothing happened? I bet you some shit happened. They just didn't show it. We walk down the slope carefully and slowly to avoid falling down, Rin in the lead and me a few steps behind. Rin surely can do this. Even if she can't, she's going to pull through. I'm sure that I can keep my head above water too from now on. It's a hard thing to do, man. Sun sets behind our backs, setting the world ablaze in its orange glow. Keep watching the back of the red-headed girl descending the path a few steps ahead of me. If it's only this much, this distance between us is definitely within my reach. Act Trace. And I'm actually going to stop it here, guys, so that I can start a new recording. Shut the fuck up, Mattel. You are not Batman. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next recording. I'm going to upload these soon.